Hey y'all, what is up and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing my stage glam trial. So right now it is Thursday, April 14th. I had already filmed this and it was originally supposed to be of my peak week vlog. What you guys will see that next Monday. The reason why I yanked it out of there was just simply because that vlog would have been way too long. So I decided, you know what, let's do it separate. So here is my trial routine. And at the time of you watching this, because this is going to be uploaded on Friday, I will be less than 24 hours out from hitting the stage. My first show to this date is my favorite, but after this show, I think that might change. But I loved that show. Like, I loved my look because I loved my hair. I like how my hair was. It was in its natural state. I liked the suit color that I had. And I also decided, you know what? Because I know red lipstick looks good on me, I'm going to go with that. While those things were true, if you are a competitor and you're watching this, a lot of things that maybe we do in a day-to-day life, how we look, might not translate well on stage. And that is exactly what happened to me. So when I picked the suit color, I didn't think about the fact that, oh, I'm going to be a little bit darker. So I got sprayed with Pro Tan, and Pro Tan has a red undertone. If you're not a competitor and you're trying to figure out what I'm talking about, whenever you compete, all bodybuilders, it does not matter how deep your skin tone is, you have to get a tan. Obviously, the deeper you are, the less coats you need. The Pro Tan has a very red undertone, so I got sprayed with that. And then with my red suit, it kind of all just blended together, so there really wasn't much of a pop. And then the red on stage, the red lipstick didn't look good on stage. And then with my blonde hair, which it looked great off stage, but with the stage lighting, it was just very, very brassy. So that was 3 years ago. Yeah, almost 3 years ago. When you know better, you do better. So now my makeup just needs to be bronzy and neutral. That's it. We don't need to do anything crazy. Things that are a no-no. No red eyeshadow. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Just the texture of matte red eyeshadow is typically not that great anyway, the formula, but I don't care how fair, how deep, no red eyeshadow. Okay? Do not do that. Red eyeshadows and certain blue eyeshadows are not for stage. So here is, I've gathered my products. If you've been watching me for a while, then you know that I'm really just trying to make sure that I'm utilizing all of my products and not overconsume, not buy too many foundations. And the Nars Soft Matte Foundation is one that I really did not utilize, and I know it's going to expire soon, and I haven't even put a dent in it. So what I'm thinking, the last time I competed, the last 2 times I competed, I used Huda Beauty, and then the first time I competed, I used Smashbox, but I'm all out of that one. So I figured, you know what, I have quite a few competitions this season. My season is already planned, so I figured we're gonna use this as our foundation. So face already clean, primed, ready to roll. And since I am doing just like a very gold bronzy look, I'm gonna do my foundation first. Now when I'm working on competitors, I always do eyes first, but I'm going to do my foundation first. So I am using the shade Macao. That is always my shade with Nars. If you are, give you a little hack for my brown skin beauties and chocolate Godivas. If you are a competitor and you are my shade or deeper, you don't have to go deeper with your foundation. There's a workaround with that. Bronzer. That's what I do. I never go a shade deeper. Just bronze it. Now, if you are lighter than me, then yes, you're gonna have to go a little bit deeper. And I'm testing out this new Real Techniques brush. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but you know. So this Nars Soft Matte Foundation is very matte. It's matte. You have to work fast with it. I do not suggest this if you are not 100% an oily girl. I don't mean, oh, well, I'm combination, or, oh, well, I get a little greasy. Like, you are legit a oily skin girl. You are oily all year long, okay? If you do not have oily skin and you try to wear this foundation, it is not going to look good on you, okay? Even with my oily skin in the wintertime, which is why I didn't really put a dent in this because it came out around that time of the year, it was too matte for me. I was like, whoa, that's matte. That's matte, and that is full coverage. So all my oily skin girls, this one is for you. So because that foundation dries down so fast, and because it can just be tricky to blend just due to the consistency of it, what I did, I thought I was recording. After I put it all on with the brush, I just took some Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Polish setting spray. This is a setting spray, but any spray, and I just gave my face a spray just to kind of help, you know, add a little bit more, I don't want to say moisture, but just to help with the blending. So now I can go back in because I want full coverage, and this is full coverage foundation, but there's just certain areas where I want to add a little bit more, and so that's just going to help blend it as well. I probably should have used my Mario Badescu spray, but that's all right. Here's my thought process for setting sprays. I think they're personally a marketing scheme. Like, I don't use them to set makeup. I use them if I maybe got a little over heavy-handed with powder or foundation and I just need to make the skin look more lived in, then I'll give it a spray to just kind of, you know, soften the blow. But the reason why I feel like they're marketing schemes is because these days in 2022, makeup has evolved and come such a long way. Whenever you look at the foundation claims, it's always 12 hour, 16 hour, 24 hour wear. So my question is, if this foundation can last up to 12 hours, why do I need to spray it with the setting spray? Sam Fine didn't have setting sprays and primers back in the 90s, and he was turning out looks left and right. If you don't know who Sam Fine is, he's one of my all-time favorite makeup artists. He is a legend. So he's done Iman, just like the list goes on. So I'm just kind of like, if he was doing it without primers and setting sprays, without foundations having these wild claims, fast forward, foundations are lasting for 16 to 24 hours, why do we need setting spray? Make it make sense. But that's just my 2 cents. Okay, for concealer, I used this concealer the last time I competed. This is not the same one. I actually purchased this maybe about 2 months or so ago. This is the Loreal Infallible Full Wear. Yes, we're using a drugstore concealer. Why? Because I like the way that it just highlights and brightens up under my eyes. Hold on, camera is about to die, of course. All right, so this is a bomb concealer. It's affordable. It is full coverage. And I like the tone of this because it's just enough, not too much, because I don't like my under eye area to be super bright. So it's just enough. What am I looking for? Prep Brain cream bronzer. Lord have mercy, my brain. Yo, Prep Brain for my AM fam that's not a competitor. Basically, when your food gets so low, your carbs get so low. So carbs are your fuel. Carbs are not bad for you. Carbs are your brain power, okay? So when carbs get low, my brain is like fuzz. And so the reason why I focus my concealer on the inner and on the outer is just simply because I want most of my coverage in the center, because that's where, in the inner, because that is where the majority of my darkness is. And then by the time I blend that out, it gets to the middle anyway. And then the outside, I'm just going to blend it up to just snatch everything up, because we want it up, okay? So, you know, that's the other thing too. Like when you draw those crazy triangles and shapes all over your face, 9 times out of 10 is too much product. And when you have too much product, you spend more time blending and you're wasting product as well, because you just simply don't need that much. Especially if you were using products that are full coverage. It's not necessary. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set up under my eyes using my Mercier Translucent Honey. I just bought this one because I ran out of mine and I was able to get it on sale during the Sephora sale. So that's always a plus. All right, so now we're going to go in with this Fenty Cream Bronzer. I could have used my Mario Badescu, but that is in my kit, and I don't feel like going through all of that. And I need to use this because, like I said, I want to make sure I am utilizing all of my products. Now, when it comes to doing any sort of like sculpting, especially for my competitors, I am very, very mindful of the bone structure, because what happens is for some competitors, once they start dieting down and dieting really hard, you lose body fat in your face, so you get, you know, diet face. And sometimes if someone already just naturally has just, you know, more prominent bone structure, and if you over contour, it's going to make their face look very, very hard, you know? So I always keep that in mind when working on competitors or just clients in general. So if you are doing, you know, your own stage makeup, which if you need some guidance with that, you can book that with me. I have stage glam assistants on my website, and I'll make sure to leave that down below so I can guide you with your stage glam. It could be whatever you might need help with, like makeup, hair, whatever the case may be. But, you know, take that into consideration, you know, because the worst thing that you can do is add too much chisel to a face that's already kind of sunken in and hollow just due to dieting, you know? So be mindful of that. I just sprayed it with some of the Mario Badescu facial spray just to help blend out. Gotta blend out this 5 head, y'all. I also need to be mindful that I don't have translucent powder in my hair, because that happens a lot of the times. And I'll like get to work and I'll take a glance at myself. I'm like, oh God. Then whatever is left here, I'm going to just go ahead. Don't want to pinch my nose too much. Just more so adding structure. There we go. All right, then just taking that sponge again, and I'm just going to go under. And keep in mind, we haven't set the face yet. So this is just to add a little bit more chisel. And also if I maybe got too low with my contour, because what can happen is, so hold on, this is a cream bronzer, but I use it as a contour just simply because the shade on me doesn't bronze me. It's too deep, it looks like a contour. But so if, let's say if maybe you were doing it and it got too low, if your contour gets too low, it's going to drag your entire face down. So you want to be mindful of that. So I'm just going to put a little there, there, and then I am going to go down the center of my nose. Actually, let's do it this way. Then I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my face. As I'm setting the rest of my face, I'll go ahead and knock that off. It always looks crazy. Like, that's why anytime I'm doing someone's makeup, I always tell them, like, when you just watch the process, it looks crazy. You're like, oh my God. But then once it's all done, everything always comes together. All right, now we're going to move on to bronzer. I'm loving this palette. So this is the new Nars Summer Unrated. This is the blush bronzer duo. So I have the one in Dynamite and Cypress. Love. And so I'm going to be using this bronzer because it is very warm. It is a little bit more red than my typical go-to bronzer, but for stage that is going to be okay because I need warmer, and typically what comes with more warmth is more red. And then because I tend to always get overzealous with bronzer, I'm just going over with that same powder brush. And because this is so warm, I'm not going to use that around my nose. I'm just going to go in with my Sephora Collection Ibiza bronzer. I know this is super high maintenance, but it is what it is. Or maybe I should have just went with this. I'm thinking I should have just went with the Ibiza bronzer. Okay. Yeah. I'll just go with this because this one is actually darker. So it may not be as warm, but it's darker and it'll still get the job done. I don't know, we'll see. I'll bring both on show day and decide. Then for blush, what am I gonna do for blush? I'm gonna do Sweetest Cocoa. I'll start off with Sweetest Cocoa. Okay. Alrighty. Let's do some eyes. Okay, we are back. We've got one eye done. Brows are filled in. I used my Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim Pencil. This one is in the shade, I believe it's black. Yes, 264 black. For the eyes, since I want a very bronzy look, we're going in with my favorite eyeshadow palette, Natasha Denona Bronze. So first I'm gonna go ahead and start off by priming my eye because your girl's got oily eyelids. This is the Fenty Beauty eye primer. I don't really have like a favorite eye primer. I just know I need one. If you don't have oily eyelids, then you can skip it. It's not necessary. However, my eyelids are disrespectful. Disrespectfully oily. All right. First things first here, we are going to go in with the shade Ridge. Actually, no. Suntan. That's the shade we're going in with first. Now I'm just going to take this shade right here called Beach and go under my brow. Typically, like if I'm working on a client, I will just go under the brow with concealer. I just don't like that on me. I'm going to be real with y'all. That ain't my gig. I don't like it on me. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and take that suntan color and just bring it down. Then we're gonna go in with this beautiful shade right here, Magma. So before I go in with the black, basically I'm building up the color. So that's how you get that nice gradation. And also highly recommend you do that if you're going to be going in with a dark brown or a black. If I do pull a black on somebody, it's more so of a softer black because on stage, black eyeshadow can be way too harsh. You don't want anything that's going to black your eye out. You want your eyes to look nice, awake, and bright. So you have to be mindful. Typically, dark brown, that's the safest, no matter what your skin tone is. But if you are going to be utilizing a black, then just make sure it's a softer black. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this beautiful shade right here called True Bronze. And then right next to that, we're going to go in with this beautiful shade right here. All right, then going back in with Magma on the outer again. Now we're going to start going in with a Deep Dive. Okay, now getting my smudger brush. So this is, don't do that. This shade in here is called Spot. It is the black shade from Natasha Denona Biba palette. I like using this shade for my liner. You guys know I don't like a super harsh line at the top. So I like to use shadow. You don't have to use this one particular, but any shadow that you want, which I will say that this technique is a little bit advanced, so therefore it's, if you're not good at your makeup, or maybe if you're just learning, just use a felt tip liner and just cover your eye. Well, not cover your eye, just line your eye. Right now, I'm just going to start pulling it out. I'm just basically following my natural eye shape. And I just take the edge of my sponge to clean up. And if I need to take a brush, a blending brush, just to blend it down a little bit. Again, that's just my preference. If you like a really, really sharp cat eye, go for it. Sorry, winged liner, go for it. That's just not my forte. All right, so that is what we are looking like, and I am pleased, and I'm going to be able to do this so fast as well. Okay, so for the inner, I am going to take some felt liner and just get as close to there as I can. All right, there we go. Now for the bottom, we're going to do something fun. So you never want to be 100% matchy-matchy when it comes... Thought my mic wasn't on. I was about to have a heart attack. When it comes to your suit color, like, you want to incorporate the colors, you know what I mean? So let's say if you're wearing like a teal suit, and maybe not teal eyeshadow, but if you want to do like a pop of teal liner or something, that's cool. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's just very subtle. I have like a little bit of a burgundy on my waterline. So I'm taking this shade right here called High Degree, and it's not a matte, it's actually a shimmer, which I think shimmers always look better for this in the waterline. And I'm just going to line it with that same smudger brush. This smudger brush is a Morphe brush, so it's Morphe M213, super affordable. Boom. Again, very subtle. It's not anything that, you know, that's like, oh my god, but it's just those little details. Then for lashes, we're gonna go in with some Sode Beauty lashes, of course, and I'm gonna be using the Sode lash. So, okay. And also, if you're someone who just struggles with putting on lashes, get the Kiss glue liner, because it's so easy. You line your eye, you don't have to worry about it getting tacky or anything. Then you just go ahead and you put the lash on and you're Gucci. You good to go, girl. And always measure your lashes, okay? You want to measure from the outside, because the inner corner is always a little bit shorter. And of course, Sode Beauty lashes are easy to apply. You can wear them about 5 times, just depending on how well you take care of them. Take them off, take the glue off, put them back in the packaging. You're good to go. I have definitely worn mine more than 5 times. I just say 5 for good measure because I know you can. Another stage mistake that I made was my last competition. I wore a deep plum liquid lipstick, which again looked great off stage. On stage, it aged me a million years. So be careful. Do not go too dark. So we're going to go with the nude situation. So I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Intense to line my lips first. And I don't overline my lips. I just follow my natural lip line. And there's nothing wrong with overlining. You just need to make sure it's not very obvious, because keep in mind, the further up you go from your natural lip line, the more obvious it is. And then I'm going to pop some gloss on. This is the Natasha Denona gloss in Caramel. It's not available on Sephora. When I checked Beautylish, it was sold out. I don't know. This is the stage look. I love it because I still look like me I feel like me, I feel good, but I feel polished. And that's the other thing too when it comes to stage makeup. And this is the #1 reason why I was just very hesitant about venturing over into competition makeup as a makeup artist, is because from what I could see from all the other makeup artists that are in the industry of doing makeup for competitors, which they're all great and talented, like you have to realize every artist has their own style and their own taste, right? Me, I like a soft glam look. I like to keep it simple. And so whenever I would just look at the whole makeup competitor situation, I felt like, okay, well, this is not my style of makeup, so I don't know how this is gonna go. But as time has gone on, I've almost been doing it for a year now, all my feedback is, I love that you make me look like me, but just a more va-va-voom polished version of me, you know? So if you are a competitor watching this, you don't have to cake it all on. You don't have to look like a drag queen. You don't have to do crazy cut crease, and you don't have to do all of that if that is not who you are. Now, if that is who you are, I want you to stay true to that. But if you're someone who maybe that's not your jam, you don't wear makeup at all or on the regular basis, or you just prefer a soft glam look, that is achievable as well. Because what you have to realize is on stage, you know, like, you don't want it to be too harsh. I've watched quite a few competitions, especially at national shows, where I'd see a lot of girls' makeup and it was just far too harsh. For instance, like I said with the black eyeshadow earlier, where it was just so dark that it totally blacked out the eyes, and so the eyes didn't look nice, bright, and awake. You know, the judges want you to look very vibrant and youthful, so that's what you have to keep in mind. Sometimes too much of a good thing is too much. So sometimes too much makeup is too much. I know. But this is our completed look. I'm going to take some photos, send them over to my coach, and see what she says. Let's see, it's 5:25 right now. I'm just gonna chill. It's time for me to eat, and then I gotta wash all this off, and we're gonna color my hair. Okay, so that is going to wrap up my trial. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you like my, you know, I'm always going to do a soft glam, a natural glam. That's just my aesthetic. That's just who I am. I like that look on myself and when I do others' makeup. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. And again, thank you all so much for all the love, the support, the comments. Y'all are the best. Keep it simple.